Hi everyone. So this is OPSC Prelims 2023 analysis. Now, some of the questions of OPSC were brilliant, some of them were irrelevant. But anyway, let's look at the questions. And I have given a general observation also. If you look at the overall paper, last year paper too easy paper thila. At least on the surface easy lagithila pilangu, but it was a tricky paper. We'll discuss that in detail. Some of the questions are invalid. I'll show you that. And some of them, many of the students might have suffered because of one particular thing. बहुत गुड़ा question रे not correct, you have to choose. And बहुत गुड़ा पिला भूल करते हो से जगह in the times of exam we tend to do that, right? So not correct बहुत गुड़ा mistake, silly mistake है थी वो. And बहुत गुड़ा question namely not correct दे थले, okay? Paper on the surface appears easier, but negative marks will be higher, okay? That I can assure you. In my opinion, the question paper was not a very well balanced one. Okay, conceptual of fact, proper balancing hai in question paper. In fact, if you look at last year OPSC prelims question paper, that was a pretty good question paper. But this year, the standard is not the way it was in the last year's paper. So that's why I'm saying it is a little bit easy but tricky paper. And some irrelevant question bhi achi. I'll show you that. Then ancient medieval India question bilkul asene, and Odisha history bhi pray question nahi. Some one or two modern Odisha history there are questions. Geography and environment questions, conceptual questions is the savior this year. Okay, if you have done them well, definitely you will clear the prelims. Science and tech questions were less. direct tinda thila, and OPSC जो type of science and tech question पचारंते से type of question thila. So not a big worry there. International relation question was missing except Sheikh Hasina. Okay, what will be the cutoff? Now this is a easy and tricky paper. In any given year, जदि easy अच्छी paper at least on the surface appears easy, but tricky अच्छी, then cutoff can be little dicey. Okay. I have been pretty good with my prediction with cutoff, but if you want me to predict the cutoff, one thing I can do, and that I do every year actually, there is a link. I'll give this document in the description below. Okay, go through the link, submit the form, go through the answer key, check out ki kete tamro mark rohuchi final score, submit that mark. Okay, so that submit the form that is given in the link. Then I'll decide. I'll look at say. Maybe say 500 ki 1000 jone jodi submit karibe, I will have an idea ki what could be a cutoff, what could be the cutoff. Okay, then maybe in 2 or 3 days I'll provide you the cutoff. So share that link also, joti bhi paribo share karo. So let's go through the questions. First, I am using set B. Okay, now if you look at the question number 1, this is a question about who collects the data on poverty in India. This is a pretty easy question. The answer is NSSO. But the problem is the answer can be B or it can be invalid as well. Why? Because there is no organization called NSSO anymore. Now 2019 re merger hai jaitila, NSSO merged with CSO. Now we have NSO, not NSSO. So technically one can say that, or one can contest that it is a invalid question. Okay, let's see what OPSC does, but answer should be B, either B or invalid. So that is and this is a very basic question. Poverty upru pray dita khonde question rahe, and poverty, measurement of poverty upru question rahe gote dita. So basic question, usually economic classes re cover hue egra. Then next question is again how to measure poverty. Now this is a very interesting question. The thing is, we know that whenever we read poverty, any kind of poverty, multidimensional poverty index SDG re, no poverty is the first goal also. SDG index jahavi, wherever you go for poverty rank index, we come across these things: poverty gap index, head count ratio. These two at least we know. So if you know these two, that means the answer should be all of this. So it is a doable question, easy question, and you must not miss it. Next question. Then again, it's a very basic question. Can be easily solved. Kemti? Now dekho, India, which of the following determines the wage policy? Wage policy is mostly in India is determined by cost of living. Cost, because the cost of living is high. Jodi Manrega dekhibo, ye dekhibo, labor policy dekhibo, mostly cost of living. productivity को नहीं कि wage policy setup है ही नहीं, and standard of living is a very subjective concept. Okay, it differs from one person to another. So cost of living को नहीं कि usually wage policy set करा हुआ है, and this kind of things you have to apply your common sense. आप किसी preparation करी परिबन तो okay. Simple common sense and logic will do. Next question. Poorest 3 states which are considered the poorest in India. Now this was a very this is a expected question. Okay, Ratafy magazine ne bhi cover hai. This is SDG index July, I think. This is a July month Ratafy magazine. Okay, in that we have covered it, and if you see in that magazine also, Bihar, Arunachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, these are the poorest of the poor states. So answer is B, Jharkhand, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh. Okay. Now next question, Atal Bhujal Yojana, a tick ke puruna question da. In fact, I have covered it in May 2023 Ratafy magazine. But one thing you need to know, if might have done wrong here is they might have gone for all of the above. Okay. Statement 1 is pretty obvious. If you have read little bit of Atal Bhujal Yojana also, you will know that it is supported by World Bank and it is covered in the Ratafy magazine also. Here it is a sub scheme under national NGMIS. This is the wrong one, and here documentary link pe deyichi. This is a World Bank document, and over here in that World Bank document it is mentioned that it is the same scheme actually. Okay, go through that document and see the if you have any doubt, that's why I am dropping the links in the document itself. Okay, so answer is 1 and 2 only. C. Now which year is known as the demographic divide? Demographic divide means it's a waterside movement for India, and usually OPSC couple of years back, 2016 or 17, I think they have asked this particular question. Prelims 1921 is the year. Pretty easy question, basic question. PM01 mock test exam deyithilo. Okay. Consider the following statement related to low sex ratio. Now again, this question you no need to no need to read anything. You can apply your logic, common understanding of things, and we can arrive at the answer. Now high maternal mortality rate is not a reason for low sex ratio. Okay, when a mother dies, it's not because there is a girl child or a boy child she dies. Okay, that's a health issue. That's why she dies. So that's why maternal mortality maternal mortality saito low sex ratio ro kichhi link nahi. So if you remove that, then you have the answer. In fact, okay, the answer is 2 and 3. C. Okay, so easy question. You can apply the common sense and get the answer. Now, aquatic ecosystem, a very interesting one. Littoral zone, limentic zone, profundal zone, and these are the 3 things they are asking. Now, this is something we have covered in our environment class. This is if you have done your environment, basics of your environment, then you should be able to answer the question. Now, if you see here, okay, this is littoral zone. Okay, now this is the littoral zone. Okay, then we have limentic zone. Limentic zone is littoral zone is which where the water is with the continental shelf. Okay, limentic zone is photic zone, 200 meters the sunlight can penetrate, so that is limentic zone. Then the dark zone is called profundal zone. Beyond the photic zone we have aphotic zone, that is profundal zone. The base abyssal plain jota thibo oceans, they are called bottom dwellers, that is, or the bottom is called benthic zone, and over there we find bottom dwellers. Okay, so covered in the environment class. Now, so answer will be 1 to 3, all of them are correct. Next is El Nino La Nina is a expected question. Okay, cover bhi hai classroom re, geography classes re and all test series re bhi ache. So La Nina, if you see the question, cooler than normal sea surface temperature in Pacific Ocean. If the Pacific Ocean becomes much cooler, then it is good news for India because it is La Nina and it will bring abundant rainfall in the Indian region. Okay, so the answer is La Nina. These are the questions you should not get wrong at all. Okay, if you are getting these questions wrong, then you have to do change the way you are preparing completely. Now, question number 10. Which of the following articles of the Constitution of India refers to protection and improve environment? This question I gave just before the exam actually in our test. PM06 prelims mock test 06. I have given that which of the, if you can read this, okay, which of the articles of Indian constitution is related to environment? That is the question I gave in the test series as well. So here the answer will be if you see 48A, okay, because it is asking about safeguarding of forest and wildlife, and 48A is all about that. It is part of DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy, state to protect and improve the environment and safeguard the country's forest and wildlife. So doable question, easy question, DPSP ro every year we can expect at least 1 or 2 questions from DPSP. So yes. Next question is about primary pollutants. All of them are primary pollutants. Okay. Secondary pollutants are when two elements interact in the atmosphere and become a pollutant, that is called secondary pollutant. Say carbon dioxide and there is rainwater. So if they interact, carbonic acid is produced. That is acid rain. So that is a secondary pollutant. Okay. Or ground level ozone hegala. There are some secondary pollutant. This is basic environment knowledge. Okay. We have covered in your class, in our classes, in our test series as well. Types of pollutant: primary, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, NOx, SOx, VOx, that is volatile compounds, SPM, okay, suspended particulate matters, these are all primary. Secondary jemti chemical reaction हुए, sulfuric acid hegala, nitric acid hegala, carbonic acid hegala, all of them. Okay. Question also is given. And another thing is radioactive pollution. Mention radioactive pollution is also a primary pollution. We say, for example, we have uranium. Uranium naturally decay हुए and it eventually becomes lead. So from that also pollution happens. That is radiation pollution. It can be natural, it can be man-made also. Okay. Radioactive pollution can be natural or can be man-made. Like nuclear arms race, so both. Now, moving on. Meteorological drought, socio-economic drought, pretty easy question. And if you meteorological drought, NCERT also covers it. Okay, and the answer is both 1 and 2. The next question is cloud shedding opre question achi. And if you see, I have gave a test also. Test series question there, PPT 01 test. That which of the following chemicals are used for cloud shedding? Silver iodide, potassium iodide, aluminum hydroxide. All of them are cloud shedding chemicals. Okay, and so the OPSC question they are only asking about aluminum hydroxides. And if you read the statement 1, obviously cloud shedding soft freezing clouds you inject this nucleus and make them heavier so that rain will pour. That is the whole objective. So answer is both 1 and 2, 13 row. The next question is about National Air Quality Index. Now National Air Quality Index, the question I gave in the test series also, in our test series. Now if you see objective of this बहुत गुड़ा data था, objective था test series question लगे which one we should remember. Okay, if you look at the question also, carbon dioxide is not a pollutant. It is a greenhouse gas, but it is not a pollutant. That is what is one thing you must remember about air quality index. Now if you see here the same categories are mentioned in the question and then the pollutants. Okay, and if you see here, okay, statement 1 is pretty obvious. Okay, statement 2 again it is a correct one if you look at the screenshot there, and then the pollutants that it monitors, all of them are there. So answer is 1, 2, 3 D. Okay, easy question. Pray environment classes, basic class, environment class re ho kimba environment test re, these things are covered. Then best describes deep ecology. I think the answer is deep ecologism na emti kono gode ache, but anyway now Hindu re gote article thila. I am dropping the link to that particular article in this in this one, because if I had to attend this question, I would have done it wrong. The reason being, see, shallow ecology and deep ecology fundamentally is different in the sense that deep ecology tells us that we value nature for nature's sake, but shallow ecology is about, say, we value a river or we value a mountain as long as it serves us, okay, as a human being, as a species. As long as it serves us, if we value it, then that is called shallow ecology. But when you appreciate or value a river or a mountain or a forest or a particular wildlife for its own sake, without treating it as a means to an end, then we call it deep ecology. So that is the whole idea. Deep ecology I have discussed in our test series also. But then again, I would have done it wrong, right? if you read that editorial, you will know that the verbatim this particular statement is there in that particular editorial. Okay, the philosophy believes that humans should radically change their relationship with nature. So this is this is a statement. When you read it, it does not sound like deep ecology. Okay, but that is true. So answer is B. Go through that article. I think many students might have done this wrong also. Question number 16. The ability of a population to increase under ideal environment condition is called. Simple. Decode the language of the question. The answer is biotic potential, because population increase is a biological activity. So obviously biotic potential. Easy. Apply understanding of the question. You will be able to find the answer. 17. Next question. Disaster most likely to be influenced by climate change. Interesting. Now pretty easy geography basic questions. Kinda earthquake, tsunami, volcanic eruption, all of them are associated with plate tectonics or plate movement. But tropical cyclone is completely completely dependent on the tropical cyclones occur when the sea surface temperature goes more than 27 degrees centigrade. So obviously climate change will impact that in comparison to others. Question number 18. Tidal waves are caused by pretty basic geography question. Answer is moon's gravitational impact on the earth. I gave in our test series also geography test question. Okay, about tide and tidal waves. PT04 geography test, I think. Okay, statement is correct with respect to tides and then factors responsible for tide generation. But again, easy question. This is an irrelevant question. I don't know what question is this. They're asking, do mathematics in say GS1 paper. So you should not attempt this question. This is an irrelevant question. Moving on. Which of the following has the least thermal conductivity? Metal, semiconductor, superconductor, they have very good conductivity. This is basic NCERT level science and tech question, static question actually. So alloys have least thermal conductivity. Now 21. Symbol of material used in conventional glass thermometer. If you have used glass thermometer, you must be knowing that mercury UV, and mercury is Hg. Okay, pretty basic question, easy question. Okay, Hg. Now 22. Variation of land near sea is very less compared to that of from the sea. This is because say Mumbai moderate temperature, but in Delhi the temperature is dwells between two extremes, too hot or too cold. That is because of continentality, but it is moderated in Mumbai because it is near to sea. So that concept is mostly can be explained by land breeze and sea breeze, right? So pretty easy question. Okay, the sea breeze absorbs the heat. That is the answer here. 23. Okay, this is the expected question. Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, these things were there. Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, Bharatiya Nagarika Suraksha Samhita, and Bharatiya Sakhya Adhiniyam. Three important things are there. Anyway, they are asking questions on that. The answer to that is 3 and 4. C. 23, 3 and 4. Okay. Now these things were there in news. See, when you see say they came into effect from April 1 to 2023, it can be confusing. But if you read the Rate of Hay magazine, July month, I have given these things that because they came into effect in July 2024. So from that perspective, because July so we should be able to eliminate it that way. Okay. And again, I have covered them in detail in Rate of Hay magazine in the test series also elaborately. Okay, with the dates and everything. Okay. So expected, and it's a good question. Moving on, next question. Brand ambassador of government-led companies. Okay, this is a question. I have written a letter to dear OPSC that this kind of questions are not ideal to be asked to a civil service aspirant. Okay, because are we going to remember the name of the ambassador of of these entities? No, we should not, and we have so much to deal with already. Okay, so why this? So it's a irrelevant question. Okay, the answer is B anyway, if you want to know. Now, if you don't know, leave that kind of question. No need to break your head on that. Okay, And if you are a serious aspirant, you will be someone who will leave that question. If you have not, if you don't remember it well, you should leave it. Actual question. Earth rotation day. Now, even if you don't know, when the Earth rotation day is there, if you read statement 2, this day is dedicated to acknowledge the discovery of Earth's shape. No, obviously, rotation upre achi statement, so shape upre kahin question haba. Then another celebrated to acknowledge Earth's natural beauty. Absurd statements, right? If you remove that, then you have your answer. But then again, it is asking about correct. So 1 and 4 are correct. Okay. May month, I think May month ratified thila Earth rotation day, but then again, nobody remembers that. Okay. This is the better way to approach this question. No. 26, focus, not correct. Sheikh Hasina. Now this is an invalid question. Why? Because if you read the statements, all of the statements, he was Prime Minister for Bangladesh for 2 decades, student protest, job quota jo start hai, then it turns out to metamorphosed into anti-government agitation. So then again, that is also correct. Then Supreme Court Bangladesh gave a ruling of 30% reservation in jobs for descendants of 1971 Bangladesh liberation movement. Right? So 1 to 3 statement, 3 of them are correct actually. Okay. So statement 1 to 3 are correct, but the question is asking for which of them are not correct. So that's why it will be an invalid question. Moving on, question number 27. Paris 2024 Olympics heitla. So this is the expected question, easy question. Now medal contains metal from which iconic landmark? That is Eiffel Tower, obviously. And then the Ratify magazine ne bhi cover heitla, mascot, theme, all those things. Right? Again, Paris Olympics, 2 questions were there. But then again, this is a question which is difficult. I'll suggest you should not, because 2 factuals, 16th April 2024. And elimination by, it's not that easy. Okay. So that is the reason why jodi current affairs question 2 factual achi, and you are unable to eliminate by application of logic or by application of the knowledge base that you have, then you should leave that question. And this kind of question, I will suggest leave it. Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar. Again, 2 factual and must not be attended. This is not a very important award as well. And civil service aspirants per se reads a Nobel Peace Prize and say Bharat Ratna and all. Okay, they don't read Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar and don't remember all these details and dates. So 2 factual, leave it. But the answer to this question is D, 1 and 2. Okay. Now. Question number 30, which bank was included in the 2024 Fortune Global 500 list? You can take a calculated risk. HDFC Bank, it became a systematically important bank, DC. Okay. And it is an important bank. Obviously, you can take a calculated risk in that case, HDFC Bank. Union Budget 2024-25. July ratified. We have covered it, and the same statement in the beginning of the magazine, these statements are there. Receipt, total receipt कहते हैं, borrowing कहते हैं, okay, borrowing receipt, net tax, fiscal deficit कहते हैं, net tax receipt कहते हैं. That is what is the OPSC prelims questions is all about, and these things are there in the well covered in the Ratify magazine as well as corresponding test. Anyway, the answer to this question, Union budget, is 1 and 2. Okay, fiscal deficit 6.89 and net tax receipt is not this. Okay, compare this and you will find your answer. And budget obviously is important. I already told my students that July month bahut gude question asichi. Okay, yes, budget numbers we need to remember, at least to the major highlights we need to remember. Usually pacharante. Now this is a question on International Everest Day. International Everest Day, if you look at it, optional number 4, Edmund Hillary was a Swiss national. No, he was not Swiss. Then the answer is 1 and 3. Again, if you have read it, well and good. If you don't, leave it. May 29th, so it is, they are asking this particular question from May month. But how many days we can remember, right? Now, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, which of the state is a leader in organ donation? That will be Telangana. News re bhi thila August month re. So yes, it has been covered also. So yes, Telangana is the answer, D. Moving on, question number 35, Goldman Environment Prize, again covered in the Ratified test series also. Alok Shukla will get Goldman Environment Prize also for Chhattisgarh Bachao Andolan. Okay. Also, it is also known as Green Nobel. Now, if you look at the question, this prize was established by Richard and Rhoda Goldman. Now, see, the amount will be not, never be that high. $500,000 is too high a number. Okay. So, anyway, now if you look at Praful Sandra, he is not, as I told you in the Rotafy magazine, you mentioned Alok Shukla was the answer. So, here the answer is 1 and 2. Okay. 1 is correct and 2 is correct. Now, the name of the artificial intelligence powered news anchor developed by India Today Group. Again, Rattafy, I think, May Mantra again. I gave that in the magazine also. Easy question. The answer is Sana. A. Then moving on. Vantara completely news right? Ammani wedding and all that. So again, I have given this in Rattafy February month magazine that Reliance Industries and Reliance Foundation, they have launched Vantara. So government initiative, Ambani's initiative. And then it is for wildlife protection and all that. Okay. So here, if you look at the answers also, the answer will be C. That is 2 and 4. Obviously, it is not a national government or national initiative. Reliance Industry, Reliance Foundation mentioned in that also, and then Haryana, Gujarat, and then Vantara also aspires to be a leader in wildlife conservation. This is a pretty obvious statement. Okay, so doable. 2 and 4 is the answer. Now, next question is Alliance of Sahel State. This question I have covered in the Rattafy magazine as well. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. If you can see it here. Okay. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, and they have, Liptako Gourma Charter. They have signed that, which will establish Alliance of Sahel States. So obviously, if you look at the question, this is an important one, expected one also. Okay, expected one. Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. That is correct. And then the confederation was established on 6th July 2024. So July Rattafy magazine. So after they signed the charter, the Sahel, Alliance of Sahel States was established. Okay. It originated as a mutual defense pact created in 2021. That is a wrong one. Charter signed so how come the forum will come up? Okay. So from that you can get your answer 1 and 4. 37 is done. 38, father of the nation. When was Gandhi declared as father of nation? Never. Officially he was never declared. People used to call him, but he was never declared as such. Okay. Acha, multilingual country, people often know. So this is a question, this is a question that will confuse the hell out of you. And it is extremely vague and, confusing. Leave it. This kind of question you should not attempt. But here the answer is, in India, about half the population is bilingual, about 150 is trilingual. Bharati, Huya, Desiya are analogous to these are tribes. So if you are not sure about these things, then you should not attempt. Okay. So answer is A, P, Q, but not R and S. R and S, these are languages, these are tribes. P, Q, tribes. What was the Lahore resolution? Pretty modern India, important. They have asked modern India easy questions mostly. Okay. Focus area unnecessary question. So Lahore resolution, United Homeland for Muslims, easy basic modern India question. Demand for linguistic province was first floated to ensure that. I think B or D, both of them are correct answer. Why? Because for bringing the administration closer to people, so that, say for example, if you are a Telugu person and residing in some part of, say, Andhra Pradesh, undivided, when Madras was part of, say, Andhra Pradesh and all, then you have to travel a lot, right? So if they divide the state, then the administration comes close to you. That is a justifiable statement. Another is to reduce the conflict within the country, because if you remember the incident, okay, I have given the NCERT cutout over here also, because a lot of conflict will be going on. Potti Sri Ramulu will die also after doing fasting. So to reduce the conflict, they will set up the commission as well. So both can be justified. So I think B or D, both of them are correct. British East India Company considered itself to be the paramount power in India after. See, we heard Mughals. Mughals were defeated by or taken over by Marathas. Marathas were taken over by the British. So obviously, And for Maratha, the last war was Third Anglo-Maratha War. So obviously answer will be C. Then there was no challenger after the fall of Maratha, the Third Anglo-Maratha War. There is no one to challenge British rule in India. Okay. The first modern judicial court in India, presided over by Elia MP, was set up in Kolkata, obviously. And it is an easy question, doable question. The motto, Yato Dharma Tato Jaya, this is a Supreme Court motto, and I have given this in our, in our test series also, PPT test, PPT 01, Prelims Preparedness Test 01 test diya tha. Yato Dharma Tato Jaya is inspired from Victory Pillar of Ashoka. Okay. Dash is an institutional arrangement to keep science, society and industry on the same page. The answer is CSIRD. But then again, this is irrelevant from a civil servant's perspective. India both good organization they have different motto. If it is the Supreme Court motto of Supreme Court is fine, but motto of all other organizations a civil service aspirant cannot prepare. Okay, so from our perspective, this is an irrelevant question. Should not be asked. Again, direct action day, pretty easy question. Answer is A. 47, answer is A. Then one of the earliest mention of Bharatavarsha is in. Now, Bharatavarsha, if you look at the first inscription of India, this is Hathigumpha inscription. I gave a question also that Hathigumpha inscription, PD 14, Hathigumpha inscription is the first of its kind in the entire country that throws light on 13 regnal years of Kharavard. And it is written in Brahmi script and Prakriti language. Okay, so remember that it is first of its kind in the entire country. So it is much before than any of these people. That's why Bharatavarsha first mentioned in Hathigumpha inscription. That is your answer. 48, 49. Place is known as the city of caves. If you have read about Elephanta, then you should be able to answer it. Otherwise, you will never know. Gharapuri is the island of Gharapuri, which is also known as Elephanta Island. It is also known as city of caves. So answer is D, Gharapuri. Okay. Kattaka caves refer to among other things. Now, if you see here, the odd man out is Mahendragada. Now, rest of them are related. And Odisha material भी मुझे देइथिले. Historic sites, Jain temples in Odisha, Udayagiri, Khandagiri, Ranigumpa, Hathigumpa, Vijayagumpa, all those things. Okay? Kumari Parvata, all those things are mentioned over here. Okay. So it's a doable question. Odisha culture class cover karche prelims material will be there. Kalinga prize also I Odisha material re diya itla. Here established the Kalinga prize, that is Biju Patnaik. Okay, makers of modern Odisha, that is the material name. Kalinga prize and international award for science popularization award by UNESCO. So the answer here is Kalinga prize, the person who is popularizing science, they will get the Kalinga prize. Okay, it was set up by Biju Patnaik. So material there and B is the answer. 52. Pandit Gopabandhu Das are in the field of, obviously he was not into science and law. So national movement, pretty basic question. Again, makers of modern Odisha, material review. Zero casualty at any cost. This sounds like a slogan, and you can take a calculated risk. Odisha has, that's that particular zero casualty policy. So yes, government of Odisha. Porus is said to have gifted Alexander. This is an interesting question. Okay, whether Porus have gifted Alexander mangoes or steel or cotton shard or diamond. Okay, first. I don't know about diamond, cotton shard maybe, but usually students get conflicted between these two. Mangoes or block of steel. Now why not mangoes, I can tell you, because when there is the battle of Hydaspes is a very interesting one. Usually when we do strategy discussion, I talk to students about battle of Hydaspes and how great Poru was and how he was a king who looked like a king, who talked like a king. So he was a true out and out king, and the famous dialogue that when he gets defeated, Alexander will ask him how you should be treated. He'll treat him that he will tell him that treat me as you treat any other king. Okay, so this is a famous dialogue from history books, right? But anyway, here Alexander will win that particular battle because of Tacit, because there will be rainfall and snowfall will be there, so it is not clear. the river, there will be placed across the river, either space is the river. So because visibility is low, because rainfall is there or snowfall is there, we can assume that it is not a mango month. Okay, so how we can give mango to Alexander? That's why the answer will be a block of steel. And here there is Ministry of Mines, and in G20 Ravi this particular thing was popularized. King Porus of Pauravas presents an Indian steel sword to Alexander. So this is a painting coming from that age. Okay, so that hope clarifies your doubt. Then Vishu Maharana, everybody knows, Sun Temple, Konark, right? Now, civil disobedient movement, Gandhi will start after the civil disobedient movement. He will start for the constructive work. He will want to reduce untouchability, and his first Padayatra will be, he will go through Puri, and most importantly, because Puri mentioned the nahi eti, Jharsuguda, we can go for that. Okay. Rowlatt Act, pretty easy. Modern India usually question asks. Rowlatt Act upre answer is A. 57A. Bauxite deposit is considered as the largest one in India. In fact, one question deyithili am test series re, that if you look at Odisha, nearly 3/4 of India's total bauxite is produced in Odisha. That means Odisha ro hi sabutu bodo bauxite mine achi. Okay, because we are producing 75% of it. And if between these two, you might get confused ki Panchapatmali na Gandhavardhan deposit, and we have Nalco in Damanjodi Koraput region, that is Panchapatmali is the answer. Okay. Tungabhadra multi-purpose project, pretty basic geography question. It is Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Answer is A. Chinook, Sirocco, Brickfielder, Mistral, these are local winds, and you have to, this is a pretty geography type of question we expect every year. And I gave a question also in our test series, PT04 geography test, Hawaiian, Brazil, Adriatic coast, Egypt, Khamsin and all that. Again, other Chinook and others are mentioned in other test also. Okay. Anyway, expected question, and the answer is 1. If you know only that Chinook, Rockies mountain, right? It is a wind known as snow eater. Okay. If you know Chinook is USA, your answer is here. You don't need to know more no need to know anything more. You should find your answer easily. So 60, answer is A. 61. The only landlocked country in Southeast Asia. Now, this is a mapping question, typical mapping question. Usually students don't do mapping, but it's a 3 question mapping do achi. See, UPSC also, jodi bhi dekhiba last year prelims, geography dominated. Okay. So this year also, if you see here, so pay attention to mapping, pay attention to geography. Those things can save you. Now, this question I didn't ask in my test series, but যেহেতু আমরা ওয়ার্ল্ড হিস্ট্রি টেস্ট সিরিজটা ওরে পচারিনি, বাট রটাফায়ারে লাওস মেনশন আছে, বাট ল্যান্ডলক মেনশন নাই. ওকে, বাট ওয়ার্ল্ড হিস্ট্রিরে ଏବେ just 2 or 3 days back we are doing imperialism and colonialism in South and Southeast Asia. I gave a material to the students also while doing the discussion. Over there, when we are discussing about imperialism in Laos, we talked about that it is a landlocked country and all. But then again, if you are someone who is attending classes and all, you should be and remembering things, then and only then you'll be able to answer that. Otherwise, mapping jodi mon nahi, difficult hobo. Okay, 62. Now this is a difficult mapping question, because they are asking about, say, a typical province or Australia province and the place. So little bit difficult question for a person who is not very well versed in geography. Okay, geography optional pilang pai easy. 62, answer is C, 2143. 63, which species extinct from India? Asiatic cheetah. That's why we are went for cheetah reintroduction program. So pretty easy question, continuously news rathila. So yes. Now again, correctly month and position of the sun. If you see the answer not correctly matched, the answer is D. Okay, answer is D. Question number 65. Now, if you look at OPSC questions this year, polity question bhal thila, economic question was not there at all, and budget question thila, but that is not typical economic conceptual question. And then environment questions, bhala questions thila, conceptual question. Okay. Current affairs, good questions. We managed to predict them. Anyway, now if you look at question number 65, only physical space occupied by an organism, also the functional role. So here the answer is ecologicalness. The same things I have I have given in the I mean, we have discussed in the environment class also, test we mentioned also what is exactly is an ecological niche and all. So yes, the answer is B. Grassland, trees do not replace grasses. Grassland just dekhibo, then rainfall is between 25 cm to 50 cm. That is grassland. Okay. And because rainfall is neither abundant nor say too low, that's why we see grassland. So obviously, and this is the UPSC previous year UPSC question we have covered in our test also, pretty well known question. Limited sunlight and paucity of nutrients. These are the two major reasons why trees do not replace, I mean grasslands are not replaced by trees. Ecological succession okay. Environment classes would be same things usually cover. Now decomposer of an organism. If you look at a decomposer, you have to remove virus. Rest of them are decomposers, fungi and bacteria. This is basic environment question. You should have, if you have done your environment well, you will be able to answer all of them pretty easily. Now photosynthesis, if you read the question, we'll know that free energy is converted into potential energy and stored. Okay, that is what is photosynthesis is being done, right? That's what a plant does. So 68 doable question, common sense you can apply and easily find your answer. Now carbon dioxide, NOx and SOx, that is oxides of nitrogen and sulfur oxides. Okay, and coal combustion, thermal power plants, so all of them. Okay, 1 2 3, and we have covered in our environment class and test also that pollutant source kona effect kona, pollutant oxides of sulfur source kona effect kona. These are typical UPSC OPSC questions, so expected. Which of the following earthquake waves are more destructive at epicenter? Very easy question. S waves. Okay, if you have read your physical geography of NCERT, you will be able to answer it. Jhuming cultivation is known as Kuruwa in which region? The answer is Jharkhand. It is covered in our test actually. Okay, this is the question I framed from NCERT. NCERT Pamadavi, Odisha re Pamadavi कहउछन्ती, Kuruwa in Jharkhand, Valre in Rajasthan. Okay, that is the question I gave in our test series. Okay, moving on, match the following landforms. Obviously, one question we can expect every year. Now, expected question. Loess, we know it is a wind deposition to Loess way, and moraine is glacier. So if you do that, then you have your answer, right? 3 to 1 4. And geography landform na pura quick revision series thila. Within a small span of time, I gave that video lecture to students. So yes, that covers that also. Test we cover easy. August upper, again easy one, but here you have to focus that not. Okay, which of the terms were not part of August upper 1940? So again, answer is 2 and 3. Modern India, they have asked couple of questions this year. Now next question is Constituent Assembly. Which of them are not correct? Election to the Constituent Assembly were held in July and August. Yes. See, this whole statement Lakshmikant re bhi achi same things. Okay, exact verbatim statements achi. The Indian National Congress owned 208 seats. Yes, the Indian National Congress owned 208 seats. Muslim League 73 seats. And independent got the remaining 15 seats. However, 93 seats allocated to the princely states. Now, Muslim League owned 73 seats. However, princely states own 93 seats. This I gave in our prelims PT1 test. We see, if you look at Constituent Assembly, the concept is partly elected, partly selected. So Congress, Muslim League, they will take part in election and they will win it. But princely states re election hi habani na. Princely states will do nomination. That means selection. The king will select and send their representatives. So jodi number bhi thik achi, still it is a wrong statement. So answer is, the question is asking about what? Not correct. 1 is correct, 2 is correct, 3 is correct. So obviously invalid question. So here this is a question that OPSC is trapped in, it's not correct. Trapped itself. Okay, invalid question is you. 75. Schedule of subject. I told my students also, schedule subject every year 2 questions we can expect. This year also 2 questions were there. Schedule 2 emoluments, obviously right. Schedule 3 allocation of seats, no. This is Schedule 4. Schedule 6 is schedule areas. No. So sorry, not correct, right? Answer is 2 and 3. 2 is not correct, 3 is not correct. Schedule area, and then we have tribal area, right? So this is not correct, this is not correct, this is correct, this is correct. Okay. Schedule, then electoral college in president. Okay, president's electoral college. Okay, fine. 70 constitutional amendment. Now this is the question, you know, questions that appears difficult. Okay. Now if you see here, 84th Constitutional Amendment Act fixed the value of votes based on current population census of 2011. No, this is still referring to 1971 census, because in our classes also I have covered this actually. If you look at the which census is used to calculate the votes, okay, 1971 census, and how, you know, which particular state, what is the value and everything. Okay. And electoral college of president jab dekhibo, all elected members of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and state legislative assembly. Okay, that is the two things you should remember. Now let's go back to the question. So statement 3 is wrong. Okay. Acha, not correct pacharchi na correct pacharchi. That is also another issue, right? Correct. Okay. So answer is C, 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are correct. 1 and 2 are correct. 3 is wrong. 4 is wrong. Okay. Okay. Doctrine of basic structure. Expected question. These are the focus areas in polity. Anyway, now they are asking about Shankari Prasad case, Sajjan Singh case, then Sajjan Singh case, Goloknath case. Okay. Then Vaman Rao case. Here, if you see, these are class screenshots anyway. Now, if you want to understand Shankari Prasad case, let's see. Shankari Prasad case, what was the judgment was all about, that it will tell that the parliament has the ability to amend fundamental rights as well. Okay, that was the Shankari Prasad case. Then the same thing in Sajjan Singh case, the court will uphold that the parliament has the power to amend the fundamental right. But Goloknath case, reverse kar debe, they will overrule it. Okay, overrule it. So that is the whole case. Now, if you look at the statements again, in comparison to that, the answer is 2 and 3. And Kesavanand Bharati also, I told my students that, you know, you should read Kesavanand Bharati because he died recently. Okay, that was there in news. And in his case only, they will come up with the doctrine of basic structure. So your answer is 2 and 3. Doable topic, doable question. Okay. Which 4 articles of Indian Constitution among the below given articles were added to the Indian Constitution by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976? A question bilkul touch karibani. Nobody can remember this. Even a person who reads only these things and becomes a lawyer, they also can't remember it. They have to refer their books. I don't know why they are asking, you know, this kind of questions. Nonetheless, be happy that it is an invalid question. Why? Because if you see 42nd Amendment Act, 39A, 43A, 48A, 144A, 320A are part of it, and we don't have any option as such. So invalid question. Moving on, 79 again not correct. There are 100 subjects in the union list, I think, right? They're asking about union list. Okay, 7 schedule. This is class notes. Okay. Now, 7 schedule union list, 98 subjects. So that is a wrong statement. Okay. Then what else is there? The Supreme Court has no jurisdiction over the matters of union list, obviously. Which of them are not correct? There are 15 subjects in the union list as far as taxation is concerned, right? Let's look at the financial relation. So union list 98 subject achi. Okay, union list 98 subject achi. And then financial relation union has 13 subjects with it. State has 18. Okay. So obviously, and the statement given in the question is there are 15 subjects in the union list, which is wrong. So again, we have to choose not correct. Try not correct jo bhul kar di par onde. The answer is 1 and 3. A. 80. Easy question. Which of them are non-constitutional bodies? NIA, CCI, Law Commission, all of them are, non-constitutional bodies. So answer is there. Again, the students that I have asked them to, read, that also mentions non-constitutional bodies. What are the constitutional bodies? What are the constitutional bodies and all that? Okay, NIA, all those things are there. Done. Now, Bible question, easy question. These questions, we should not get it wrong. It is done. Then 81, again, not correct. Right? Not correct. Which of them are not correct? Let's see. Answer is A. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4 are not correct. That means only one is correct. See, this is, election commissioner and all that. If you see here, besides Chief Election Commissioner, 2 additional commissioners were made appointed for the first time in January 1, 1990. No. If you see the class notes, 1993 onwards only we have 3-member body. So obviously this statement is wrong. Okay. Statement 2 is wrong. Then Chief Election Commissioner Amendment Act 1990 made the Election Commissioner a multi-member body. Statement 3 is wrong. And President will appoint, 2 more. So obviously 1993 onwards over 1919 में decision of election commissioner by the members are made by unanimous vote. No. जदि disagreement अच्छी by majority, जेहेतु 3 जन अच्छी by majority vote they will decide. So unanimous सेवा दरकार नहीं. So 2, 3, 4 is wrong. Only 1 is right. Okay. So answer is A. 82. Indian president in the parliament impeachment procedure. Okay. It's a quasi-judicial procedure. Again, classroom Lakshmikant भी अच्छे. The impeachment is a quasi-judicial procedure in parliament. Test दिया है class भी cover है. Okay. Now, statements not correct in respect of Advocate General in India. Advocate General, Attorney General usually questions hai. I have asked this in our prelims test also. Okay. Is the highest law officer of the state correct? He is appointed by the governor on the advice of no. See, Advocate General is like, say for example, if you are in trouble, you hire a lawyer. Similarly, government is always in trouble. Somebody is suing government, government is suing somebody. So they will hire a, permanent lawyer as long as they are in power. So that is what is Advocate General is all about. So why recommendation of Chief Justice is required? It's not required. Okay, you can hire your lawyer, so the government can hire their own lawyer. He should be eligible to be appointed as the judge of a high court. This is a something that is required. Okay, answer is 2 and 4. And here you have to find out which of them are not correct. So again, both pila bhulbal kar di feranti. And he should not be more than 65. Something is age bar nahi. Okay, so answer is 2 and 4. One is a statement, one first statement and third statement are correct. Okay, again test series भी cover है जेड़ा है ना. PT01 test re, the same things are there. The whole Advocate General is there. Now, polity question you should not get wrong. Geography you should not get wrong. Environment you should not get wrong. So is economy also. Okay. Now, which of the following statements are not correct in respect of private member bill introduced in Parliament? Okay. Private member is any member of the Parliament other than no. If you are not a Council of Minister, then you are a private member. Okay, that's it. So we already know that. Not correct. So this is a incorrect statement. The bill of this nature is introduced and debated only on Monday. No, Monday is the opening day. They usually a private member. So not that important of a bill. And so that's why they discuss it in, I think, Friday. Its introduction in the House requires 1 month notice. Yes, that is correct statement. 2 is a wrong statement. 3 is a correct statement. Constitutional amendment bill may be introduced in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha both. That is a correct statement. So answer, we have to find out which of them are not correct. So answer is 1 and 2. That is C. Again, student might have done wrong because not correct jo phase parandi pila. And not correct bold bhi hin hote. Okay. So that's an issue. That's an issue. Anti-defection expected question covered in our test, in our class also. Okay. If you see here, 3 things you should remember as far as anti-defection is concerned. Came through 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1985. 10th schedule re achi. Then there was a amendment, 91st Constitutional Amendment Act 2003. If you remember those three, will be pretty well, we'll be able to do the answer. Now, anti-defection law found place in the Constitution by 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act. That is, we are correct, we have to find. So, one is correct. 10th schedule of the Constitution was inserted 89 hai, 1985. You may see here also it mentions 1985. So, 2 is wrong. 3. Anti-defection law was reinforced in the year 2002. That is correct. Who is independently elected joins a political party, he is not disqualified. Wrong. So, answer is 1 and 3. The other statement also. So, if once you get it, you will be able to answer. 86. Special sessions. Special sessions, I have given the link to the Indian Express also, that particular article. ଯେହେତୁ ହେଇଥିଲା ଆମର because we inaugurated parliament, so special session ହେଇଥିଲା. So yes, that's why they have asked the question. But then again, the term special session is defined in Article 85. No, Article 85 just says that whenever the president wants, he can call up a session. There is no mention of special session per se. Okay, so statement 1 is wrong. 352 talks about special settings. Special settings, specifically emergency, war, hegla, then we can go for that. So that is a correct statement. Proceedings of both houses of parliament in special session would be limited. Yes, will be limited because it has special session. So obviously, and then a proclamation of emergency issued. Parliament is not in session. 1/3 of Lok Sabha empty किसी provision नहीं. If you have read your polity well, you know that this is a bogus provision they have given. So answer is 2 and 3. Now, 87. Due process of law, procedure established by law. I know this was a UPSC PYQ also, and many when I gave the analysis to that UPSC prelims question also, there were a lot of debate and discussion. But then again, when we saw that UPSC answer key, the answer that I gave was was correct. If you look at the UPSC official key, many institute gave it wrong. See, these are very interesting concepts. Principle of natural justice. I gave a test also. Now, due process of law, principle of natural justice. This is from our test. Let's look at the question first. Which of the following statements are correct in respect of due process of law? Due process of law means it follows principle of natural justice. A law should be must be fair, just, and reasonable. Then we call it what? Due process of law. Procedure established by law means after a law is there, if you are doing everything according to the law, then it is procedure established by law. So, due process of law focuses on the formal adherence to law. Now, this is procedure established by law. So, statement 1 is wrong. Procedure established by law emphasizes protection of individuals' rights, fairness, application of law and legal proceedings. Okay. So, this is application of law. Again, application of law is procedure established by law. So, 2 is correct, 1 is not correct. Okay, 87B. 88. For pressure group to be effective, which of them are correct, right? See, if you are a pressure group and you don't have any membership, then you won't be able to do any pressure to the government, right? So, it requires large number of members, common sense. Again, OPSC, sometime they have asked it, okay. Substantive public policy are those which calculated risk nahi paribo. 1 and 2 is answer. Directly distribute benefit or cost for citizens, impose restrictions behavior, absurd language. So we can go for 1 and 2. Again, purely understanding and wording of the question and the language of the question. And this kind of question, we have to take the risk. Okay. Here, even if you don't understand anything, sometimes look at the language. Policies provided tax refund. Whenever there is a word called refund, कौन हुए से पैसा? से पैसा तो मोर account को credit हुए. Now find. I would have done it this way. Okay, find a word that matches that. Earned income tax credit. So refund means credit. That is the answer. Which of the statements about public policy are correct? A public policy may be. A public policy can never be irrational. You cannot create a public policy which is irrational. Rest of them are correct. Okay, it can be negative also. Negative means it stops people from doing something. That is a negative public policy. But yes, okay. Then they say helmet no pintle fine haba. That is a negative public policy. Okay, public rule or law, whatever. So they can be general, specific, broad, narrow, positive, negative, but irrational hai paribo nahi. 91C. You cannot create a policy on the basis of irrationality. Okay. 92. The answer here is 1, 2, 3. 92 the answer dekhiye. Distributive public policy, again distributive justice, right? Distributive justice means you are behaving like the government is behaving like Robin Hood, taking from the rich, giving it to the poor. That is what is distributive justice is all about. Now it is known as patronage policy. Yes, here when you support someone, you are called as a patron. So obviously patronage policy we can call that. Okay, welfareist policy, patronage policy, all that you can say that. Okay. Meant for specific segment of society. Obviously when you say distributive justice in the example hochi reservation is a distributive justice, right? Affirmative action. So yes, that is only for a specific segment of the society. That is correct. Then it is concerned with regulation and control of goods and services. No, distributive justice, they are not worried about that. It requires little administrative discretion. Okay. See, who will get the distributive justice? You need to have little bit of discretion so that so you can go for doing welfare. So yes, in my opinion, answer should be 1, 2, 4. If you understand distributive justice well, you'll be able to answer this question. Again, fundamental rights which are not available to foreigners in India. If you say covered in the classes and test also, if you see fundamental rights available only to citizen, that is 15, 16, 29, 19, 29, 30. 15, 16, 19, 29, 30. Answer is D, 93. Okay. 94, let's look at it. Okay. Which of the amendment below are related to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe? This is a difficult one. We remember one thing, 2nd NCBC 65 जो थे NCST और NCSC और NCST हला. But then again, this is a difficult and factual question. We cannot remember everything. Okay. Answer though, here the answer is C. 102 will not be there. Rest of things 65 has to be there. But then again, it can create confusion. So if you are not sure, you should leave this question. 95 not correct. Again, right to privacy UPSC article भी at that point of time. That article covers almost everything. 9 judge bench was there. Yes, that was a correct statement. Okay, sorry, what is asking? Not correct, right? We need to find out the not correct one. Statement 1 is correct because the Chief Justice that point of time was J.S. Kherar. Okay, so statement 1 is correct. Gave this historic judgment on August 2018 and 2017 na case thila. But then again, ette peculiar detail man rahene. Okay, can be tricky. Again, who will remember ki Justice J.S. Kherar was 44th Chief Justice of India. Difficult, too factual. Appointed as Chief Justice India in the year 2017. We know that ki case Putusami 2017 case. So this is a correct statement. Incorrect would have 2 and 3. So the answer will be A, 2 and 3. The question is asking which of them are not correct. 96. Not included in the Article 14 of Indian Constitution. Freedom from detention. If you look at Article 19, it's there. Pretty easy question, polity. Then Declaration of Rights of Child was passed by when it was passed by UNO. This is something you should skip it. Okay, you don't need to remember the years and all that. Answer is D, 1959. But if you ask me, this is too factual, you should not attempt. 98. Land degradation is caused due to soil erosion and waterlogging. Yes, soil erosion we know, waterlogging due to salinization of land way. So yes, deforestation is the major cause of soil erosion. Both of them are, sorry. Here answer is A. Both of them are correct. Basic understanding of things will be enough. Land degradation in India happens at a very large scale because I can say both. Okay, very subjective question. No one can deny that it is wrong. 100. There is a huge loss of valuable nutrients and fertility in India. What is the reason for that? Soil erosion. Okay, answer. These are the last 3 questions are pretty easy. Now I'm dropping this particular document below. Okay, go through that. If you have any questions or doubt, let me know. Also that fill up the form with your final score. So if I have say submission of 500 or 600 students, I'll be able to know what will be the accurate cutoff. Okay, so then in 2 or 3 days time, I'll tell you, what will be the cutoff that we can expect. Thank you. And in this document also contains all our upcoming programs, mains program and everything. Go through that. If you have any doubts, let me know. Okay, thank you.